Imagine standing in a field of pristine white snow that looks like a beautiful postcard, but it is actually a deadly energy trap for your body. Most people think snow is just frozen water that sits harmlessly on the ground, yet it transforms into a relentless biomechanical adversary the moment you try moving through it. Every single step you attempt to take in deep snow becomes a battle against physics that your body is simply not designed to win over extended periods. The fluffy appearance tricks your brain into underestimating the challenge ahead, which makes the reality of snow travel even more devastating when exhaustion suddenly hits you. Now picture a hiker standing in a vast snowfield that stretches endlessly in every direction, with their chest heaving and legs trembling from unexplained fatigue. The snow beneath their feet looks soft and welcoming, but it operates as a constant resistance force that fights against every muscle movement they make. Unlike walking on solid pavement where the ground pushes back and returns energy to your stride, snow offers absolutely nothing except instability and energy loss. Your foot sinks down into the shifting powder with each step, which means the ground provides zero stability and forces your body to overcompensate constantly. This energy leakage happens with every single movement, draining your reserves faster than you could ever imagine possible while hiking on normal terrain. The biomechanical challenge escalates dramatically because you are now balancing on a surface that shifts and collapses unpredictably beneath your weight at every moment. Your stabilizing muscles in the ankles and hips are firing at maximum capacity just to prevent you from toppling over into the snow. These smaller support muscles were never designed for this kind of prolonged, intense activation, which means they fatigue rapidly and start failing much earlier than expected. Your heart rate climbs to levels typically seen during intense cardio exercise, even though you are moving at what feels like an incredibly slow pace. The effort required for walking in deep snow can be compared directly to running a marathon on sand, where every stride demands exponentially more energy output. The hiker begins to slow down noticeably as this invisible tax of snow travel starts draining their primary energy reserves at an absolutely alarming rate. Your body is burning through its fuel at a rate that simply cannot be sustained, which leads us directly into the brutal mechanics of post-holing, which is the soul-crushing process of sinking deep into the snow with every single step you take. Picture your leg punching straight through the deceptively smooth snow surface and plunging downward until your knee completely disappears beneath the white blanket surrounding you. The extraction process becomes the truly exhausting part because now you must somehow generate enough force to yank that trapped leg back out against incredible resistance. Your other leg desperately tries to support your entire body weight on an unstable platform that could collapse at any moment under the pressure. This vicious cycle repeats endlessly with each forward step, turning what should be simple walking into an absolutely brutal full-body workout that destroys you. Watch as the body's fuel gauge drops at an alarming rate because the massive effort required to fight against the snow's drag is unsustainable over time. Your heart is now pounding at rates that would normally only occur during intense sprinting or high-intensity interval training sessions at the gym. The staggering amount of oxygen your muscles are demanding right now far exceeds what your cardiovascular system can efficiently deliver to the working tissues. Research shows that traveling through deep snow can require up to 4 times the energy expenditure compared to walking the exact same distance on firm ground. This metabolic demand creates a debt that your body simply cannot repay quickly enough, which accelerates the spiral toward complete physical breakdown and collapse. Secondary muscles that usually remain quiet during normal walking are now being recruited at full capacity just to keep your body upright and moving forward. Your core muscles are engaged constantly to stabilize your torso as you wobble and sway with each unpredictable step through the shifting snow beneath you. Upper body muscles in your back and shoulders tense up involuntarily as your arms flail for balance, adding even more to the total energy cost. Every tiny wobble and balance correction costs you a fortune in terms of metabolic energy that your body cannot replace at the rate it disappears. These support muscles fatigue rapidly because they lack the endurance capacity of your primary leg muscles, which means they start failing first and catastrophically. Slow motion fatigue begins to set in as the hiker's movements become increasingly sluggish and the distance covered shrinks despite the massive effort still being exerted. Your steps become shorter and more tentative as muscle strength fades, yet the snow continues demanding the exact same energy cost for each movement forward. The gap between energy expenditure and energy availability grows wider with every passing minute, pushing your body closer to the point of total system failure. This extreme physical exertion is only one half of the battle, because the freezing cold is about to start its own attack on your systems. When the cold air hits your skin while your muscles are screaming for relief, your body enters a dangerous spiral that leads toward total collapse. Your glycogen stores, which are the primary fuel source for muscular work, are being depleted at an accelerated rate due to the extreme demands of post-holing. Lactic acid begins accumulating in your leg muscles faster than your circulatory system can clear it away. The burning sensation in your thighs and calves becomes unbearable as the metabolic waste products build up to levels that would normally only occur during all-out sprinting. Meanwhile, thermoregulation becomes a critical factor because your body is desperately attempting to maintain core temperature in the freezing environment while simultaneously producing energy for movement. Heat is being stolen from your limbs and redirected toward protecting vital organs like your heart and brain, which means your extremities grow dangerously cold and numb. This creates what scientists call the spiral downward, where mounting fatigue begins to compromise your walking form and biomechanical efficiency in ways that waste even more energy. Your gait becomes uncoordinated and sloppy as tired muscles fail to fire in their normal synchronized patterns, which increases your risk of tripping and falling dramatically. Each stumble or near fall requires a massive burst of corrective energy that you simply do not have left in reserve, accelerating your decline toward complete exhaustion. Your brain's central governor, which is a protective mechanism designed to prevent permanent damage to your body, starts sending overwhelming signals to shut everything down. This manifests as an almost irresistible urge to sit down and rest, even though stopping in these conditions could prove fatal within a short time. The mental battle against this shutdown signal becomes as exhausting as the physical effort itself, draining your willpower and clouding your decision-making abilities at the worst possible moment. The final stages of physical failure arrive when your muscles can no longer generate enough power to lift your legs out of the snow or produce sufficient heat to maintain safe body temperature. Your movements become increasingly feeble and ineffective as the neuromuscular system begins failing, with muscle fibers simply refusing to contract regardless of how desperately your brain commands them. The deep snow that once seemed like merely an obstacle now becomes an insurmountable barrier that your body cannot overcome no matter how much willpower you possess. Physical exhaustion merges seamlessly with mental fog as reduced blood flow to the brain impairs your cognitive function and situational awareness, which is often the final warning sign before total collapse. You might find yourself unable to think clearly about basic survival decisions like finding shelter or calling for help, trapped in a haze of confusion and overwhelming fatigue. The biomechanical lesson here reveals that snow creates a perfect storm of energy depletion, thermoregulatory stress, and progressive physical failure that can overwhelm even fit individuals. Proper preparation, including appropriate footwear like snowshoes that distribute weight across a larger surface area, can dramatically reduce the energy cost of snow travel and prevent post-holing. Layered clothing systems that manage moisture while retaining heat allow your body to maintain thermoregulation without stealing excessive energy from locomotion and muscular work. Understanding your physical limits and recognizing the early warning signs of exhaustion can mean the difference between a successful journey and a life-threatening emergency situation. A properly equipped hiker moves efficiently across the snow surface with controlled energy expenditure, maintaining core temperature and muscular function throughout their journey to safety. Understanding the invisible tax of the snow is the first step toward surviving it, ensuring that you never become another victim of the biomechanical trap.